Well, hello folks, if you can hear me, usual. So, it's a couple of days, well, 2 days after the MotoGP. It was a good weekend, really good weekend. Shame about the Moto2 boys getting red flag because of the rain, but it made for an interesting GP race. Again, shame about some Kiat Chantra, the local guy, Moto2, qualified on pole and then crashed out in the rain, so kind of feel sorry for him. Cardo, radio off. This Cardo keeps playing up and switching the radio on its own. But yeah, it was a good weekend overall anyway, regardless of the rain. We went down in the car because, well, anybody that follows me on the Facebook page will know, when we woke up Friday morning it was just chucking it down, and it was pretty much like that nearly all the way there on Friday. It was raining most of the way. Saturday was a dry day. Sunday, as you've seen by the races, was kind of dry and then wet all day, and then just after the MotoGP race the heavens just opened and it was like that all night. The roads were all flooded, and then Monday was Monday the drive home was much the same. It was not chucking it down but raining most of the way, so probably a wise decision to go in the car. So today I'm just out for a blast. I just fancied a ride, heading towards Nakhon Phanom. There's something the wife wants me to check out, some cafe thing, park cafe thing that she's wanting to go to tomorrow on the bike, so I said, well, I'll head out there now and check it out today and see if it's worth the journey tomorrow. If it's a lot of shite, then we'll go somewhere else. Let's go for a day run tomorrow for some lunch there, you know. We will see. Police are out looking for somebody because they're just waving most people past, so they must be on the lookout for somebody. Or there'll be a speed camera sitting just up the road here, so I better just take it easy. Well, they're on that side, so the speed camera will be on that side. You'll see them, and what they do is they get the speed there, the number, relay it to these boys here, and these boys stop the guys that have been speeding. If that's what it is, sometimes they're just on the lookout for somebody. Take the scenic route. Although that cafe that the wife's wanting to see is actually on this road, but I'll head the scenic route into Nakhon Phanom and then I'll come back this way so far to that calf to have a look for the wife and then dart off in a different direction. I might head to Nawa. I met a guy at MotoGP, English guy. Sai, if you're watching this, Geordie I think you are, or from that neck of the woods anyway. Maybe not Geordie, Mackhams, Monkey Hanger, you're certainly that neck of the woods anyway, I think, by your accent. Yeah, I met him at the MotoGP on Sunday. He's from Nawa, which is basically not far from here, so I might nip in by Nawa just to see where it is really. What are you going to do? You were indicating that way and then you decided no? Okay. Right, I'm going to cut off here. Right, so I'll take this way to, oh well, not what this way, so I might end up going through it anyway this way. I wasn't planning on going this way, but why not? Why not? Just for a run, let us see. I've got no particular destination other than the calf the wife wants to see, which I don't think I'm going to go into. I'm just going to have a nosy maybe past it. There's the sat-nav telling me to U-turn, U-turn, U-turn. I'll have to shut that off I think. Oh, shut up. See where it end up. Turn the Google off for a change. And this as well, this is what they do when the cars break down. Put trees in that where they break down or stop. But then when they get the car fixed or the car gets taken away or towed away or whatever, they leave the trees, they don't clear them off the bloody road, they just leave them at their arse. You come round the corner and there's half a tree sitting in the middle of the road. Always fun. That GoPro, if you can see it, it's wiggling about all over the shop. I don't know if the stabilisation is good enough to fix that. No idea if the stabilisation is good enough to fix that. We'll soon find out. I'll maybe need to move it down there out of the wind. It's bouncing about like feck. Probably knacker the bloody thing, rattle it to bits. One of the things I like about the GS, it's just got that low down grunt. If you just want to have a chilled out, relaxed ride, you barely even need to change gear, you know, it's got that low down torque that should just pull from near enough any gear. And I certainly don't consider myself an amazing rider. I'm average at best. I'm not particularly a fast rider these days, especially here. So you just never know what's around the next corner, as I've said many times. The traffic's so unpredictable here, and wildlife also. Especially when you come into villages and stuff. A rev for the kids. That's one thing about the Thai kids, they love a big bike. So do most kids all over the world, I suppose, now. Get them into the bikes young. More bikers the better, less cagers on the road and more bikes. That would be a good thing. Before all our fucking fucked up governments try and fucking ban the fucking petrol engine or the internal combustion engine altogether, no? I've got nothing against electric bikes, nothing at all, but it's going to be a long time before the technology's good enough to replace for bikes anyway. I know the cars are getting better because you can store far bigger fucking battery packs in them, but with the bikes you're kind of limited with your battery size. So just look at Bruce Teapot 1 when he tried to do that Four Corners UK thing on an electric bike, how often he was having to stop. It took him days, didn't it, you know, whereas you could probably do it in what, I think the plan was to do it in 48 hours, which I think he'd done it already on, what was it, a 125? A 125, he'd done it in 48 hours or something like that. And I think it took him, what, three or 4 days to do it on an electric bike, because he's having to stop every 50, 60 mile, 70 mile at the most. I think he was having to stop to freaking recharge. I know Zero, is it Zero? I've just brought out a touring type of bike, and 44 Teeth done a review on it a couple of weeks back, and Al Fagan for Statham he really liked the bike, but I think he still, at the end of the day, he still wasn't, you think he'd still rather have a normal internal combustion engine over that, because even still I think the claimed mileage I think was what, 300 miles, but that would just be, you know, you'd have to sort of really keep your speed down and, you know, slow takeoffs and all that, because you give it welly and then it just eats the battery, doesn't it? So I dare say they'll get there eventually, but the battery technology needs to improve for sure. But hopefully in my biking lifetime I get to continue on bikes with proper engines like this. I don't want to be forced into having to buy an electric bike. What's your thoughts, folks, on electric? I suppose as a commuter it makes sense. As a commuter bike, if you're only doing 30, 40, 50 miles a day back and forward to work, especially in the big cities, you know, London, Bangkok, any of the big cities all over the world, I suppose it would make sense. But as a pleasure machine to do even days like this, I mean, okay, I suppose on that zero you could probably do what I'm doing today and for a day ride, you know. But you know, anything longer, like if we went down on Friday to the MotoGP, you know, I wouldn't have made it all the way there without having to stop for a charge. Whereas with this, I probably would have made it all the way there on one tank, just. Yeah, in fact, yeah, I would have made it all the way there, in fact, no problem, on one tank. I just filled this up and I've still, well, filled it up, what, 50-60 clicks ago, and I've still got 547 range, 547 kilometres range. It's obviously the GSA with the bigger tank. So yeah, I would have made it all the way down to the MotoGP on one tank. Obviously we would have been stopping. You're not going to do it all in one hit, you know. I'm no teapot one that does iron butt challenges and all that, and he loves that sort of stuff. But not for me. I like to stop every couple of hours at the most, drink of water or coffee or whatever. GoPro away again. Right, where are you going, dude? Where are you going? I never know when he's locked. I've actually no idea where I'm going. I know I'm heading towards Nakhon Phanom or into the town. Let's see where I end up. I don't know if that was Nawa I just went through. Oh, Bandonding. Whatever that is, wherever we are now. I might be heading in the complete wrong direction to where I want to be going. Let's say I've got all day and 500 kilometres range, and there's always a petrol station or a little village shop that have got like whiskey bottles full of petrol to buy if you get really stuck. I've done that a few times on the dirt bike on the CRF when you end up out in the middle of nowhere, because I mean that's got a small tank on it, probably got a range of about 100 kilometres, maybe a wee bit more depending on how you're riding. So yeah, just pull into the nearest village and find the local shop and a couple of litres out of the whiskey bottles for the local village shop. Keeps you going for another wee while. I don't know, was it 100 kilometres? Maybe 200, I can't remember, 100 odd, 100 something. Was it 100 miles? You may have noticed I'm just blethering shite, but that was my whole reason for coming out today. I just fancied a run. There's no rain on the forecast today for a change. Hopefully this is rainy season's now just about over. Man Xiao, C-O, C-A, something. The wife always laughs at me when I get these names wrong. But then, swings and roundabouts, I laugh at her when she says English words wrong. So, I've got both. That GoPro's plugged into the bike. This GoPro's plugged into a battery bank, hopefully. Yeah, it's still staying fully charged. If it wasn't, it would have been dead by now. I've got spare memory cards with me, so not that I should need them. I think it's a 256 gig in each one, which gets me. I've got them both recording at 2.7K, 60 frames a second, 4K. It's just, my computer can edit 4K, no problem, but it's just the files are massive. So, and for most people watching on tablets or phones, who's actually watching this on a 4K telly? Well, saying that, not a lot of people even watch my videos anyway, and the ones that do, pretty much, I bet they're not watching them on 4K TVs. So, I don't see the need to record in 4K just now. Most people, like I say, watch it on phones or tablets. 2.7, 1080 to be fair is good enough. But I do 2.7, that just gives me a wee bit to play with. I usually render in 4K. That's more for YouTube, because if you render in 4K, you can render at a higher bitrate, and YouTube uploads it at a higher bitrate, so it doesn't squash it so much. So you kind of get a bit of better quality on on the finished article on YouTube. I've found anyway, and I think that's how it works. So another thing while we're on it, that's why that ACAT Amnuat that I said there, I recognise that, because I've just bought a camera, like a proper, well, it's not a DSLR, do you call it a DSLR? Mirrorless Canon M50. It's not a top of the range thing, because it's like the old. I bought it second hand. I wasn't away spending stupid money on it, but I want to get more into photography. I'm not going to be taking it madly serious, but I want to, you know, start taking some better photos rather than just with my phone. So, and there was a guy there had one for sale, and I cut Amnuat on Facebook Marketplace, but I ended up not buying it. I bought one online second hand. It came with spare battery, spare lens, bag, all that for the same price as the guy there was selling just the camera on its own. So I've got it in the back box. I might pull it out later and try a few snaps. Not on auto mode. I'm trying, maybe not full manual mode, but one of the other modes. I'll give it a go. Actually, my initial plan to buy it was I wanted it for the MotoGP, to try and get some good photos while I was down at the MotoGP, but it didn't arrive in time. It arrived on the Friday that we left. So all the photos from the MotoGP were just on my phone, which I suppose is decent enough, but yeah, would have been nice to have a play with it, try and get some nice bike photos from the MotoGP. But for sure, most of the first lot of photos I take will be shite anyway, because I won't know what I'm doing. But I've been watching some YouTube videos. I get the gist of it, you know, your exposure triangle and all that, your aperture and your shutter speed and your ISO, and you know, it's just, I understand it, if you like, but I just need to have a play, you know, and decide what settings I need for what conditions, so to speak. what settings to use for what conditions. And but like I say, it's all about just having a play in it. And you know, at the end of the day, it's digital, so if the photos are shite, you just delete them. It's not like the olden days where you print them out and they're shite and it's a waste of film. But in saying that, I say that about my YouTube channel, that I'm going to make more of an effort with that, and what happens? I seem to record videos and I never do bugger all with them. Got a hard drive full of the bastards. Excuse my language. Right, I need to find some road signs, find out where the bloody hell I am. Where am I going to pop out? Or I know it'll be in Bunkan or somewhere like that. Cardo, radio off. There it goes again with the radio on. Why? What did I say that makes it want to switch the radio on? Even when I say radio on, it doesn't come on. So it was at the gas station, Peps, it keeps saying gas station. I've been living here too long, because all the ties, when they're speaking about the wife says gas station and everybody says gas station, Americanised. When I was at the petrol station, the woman that was filling up the bike was trying to talk to me, and as I was trying to talk back, the bloody radio switched on and I couldn't hear a word she was saying because it just got static in my ears. So I just kind of nodded and said, yeah. She probably thought I was a right fucking idiot. Probably like, what the fuck are you on about? I'm asking you a question. What I was planning on doing today was the Ducati. Getting some more of the mods done to the Ducati, but nah. What are we going to do? I wanted to get out for a ride. After watching bikes all weekend at the MotoGP, I needed to get out on the bike. Oh, slow down road, this is the village. You shouldn't be doing 120, 130 kilometers an hour through a village. Shop is what I need, some water. Yeah, see, look, just not even bloody look, just pull out into the road. I just seen another truck coming, and a car coming. Right, I'll zip past this dude. I do love this bike. I know a lot of people think that old man's bike, so whatever, I'm an old man, but I tell you, and I was a bit apprehensive when I bought it, just because of the coming from the Versus to this, just because of the pure size of it. But honestly, if you're on the fence about buying one of these, or you're a wee bit apprehensive like I was because of just the sheer size and weight of them, honestly, they're such an easy bike to ride. They really are. The weight's so low down. Okay, slow speed manoeuvring, it takes a wee bit of getting used to, you know. And I mean, I'm 5'10", and I've got the tall suspension model. I would say if you're any shorter than me, I would go for the low suspension model, because this, when you put it, it's alright with just me and the suspension in just the single rider mode. But when you put it into like the 2 riders and luggage mode, when I've got the wife on the back, it comes up a bit, and then even I struggle just, I can't flat foot it. I can get, you know, tippy-toed, firmly tippy-toed, not like on the fucking ends of my toes, firmly tippy-toed. But so I would say if you're shorter than 5'10", I would certainly test a short suspension model. Obviously if you're taller than that, then you get the normal suspension model. But I just think it's a brilliant bike, brilliant bike. Got plenty of power for what I need, more than enough. I mean, to be fair, for what I need, the Versys had plenty of power. But the trouble with the Versys was, when I was two up with the wife, I went 2 up with the wife and the bag's on full, then it kind of showed that, you know, it just did not have enough power. That's when the lack of power was apparent, and that's why I upgraded to this. But for just single on my own, the Versys was enough. But I'm glad I bought this, and so is the wife, because it's a lot. She says a lot comfier on the back of this than it was on the Versys. So, right, where am I going now? Akat Amnuai, 2 kilometres this way. So I'm guessing this is Akat Amnuai, Akat Amnuai, Akat Amnui, however it's pronounced. The wife will tell me later when she watches this. That's not how you say it. You say it like this, and it'll be completely different. He'll say it completely different to how it's spelt. As with quite a lot of the Thai things, you look at it in English and we try and say it as it looks in English, as we think it should sound in English, but nah, in Thai it is generally something completely different. Right, I'll catch you in a bit.